The desire to be great. I don't know where it comes from. I think it's just in me as a person. Just the desire to be great at whatever it is that I do. And if I can't be great at it, then why do it? At 11 years old, I was 64 pounds, barely pushing past 4 feet. So I was always smaller. People always used to think I was 7 or 6 at 11 years old, which is really, really hard. It made school difficult. People always thinking I'm younger. And to the point where when people would tell me that they thought that I was 8, I would just be like, okay. Or when someone actually thought I was 8, I wouldn't even correct them because I didn't want the conversation to start, and I didn't want them to say the usual thing that they say is, oh, I can't even believe that you're 11. You don't even look like you're that old. The first person who I really, really felt, made me come out of that shell of being that small kid who could be bullied. If people were to bully me, I wouldn't have really stood up for myself, was my coach. My coach, Mauricio. He really, really did help me out of that. He helped me come into my own confidence. And jiu-jitsu, the mats, right, that we call them the jiu-jitsu mats. That was probably the only place I could step. As soon as I set foot in there, I was Abdullah Davis. I didn't really have my own identity wherever I went. I was always someone else's friend or someone else's brother. But as soon as I walked onto the mats in jiu-jitsu, I was known as Abdullah Davis, the jiu-jitsu practitioner. And I always felt like I was exceptional at jiu-jitsu. In the gym compared to other people in competition, I felt like I could really do it. And so at 11 years old, I made this plan and I had every detail sorted out, obviously, as an 11-year-old would. I said, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu for like 4 years. And then after that, I'm gonna do stand-up, I'm gonna do Muay Thai and kickboxing for another 4 years. And then I'm gonna be the greatest UFC fighter ever because I'm gonna have 8 years of experience in 2 different martial arts when I start. And so that was my plan and kind of started working out. Right? After doing jiu-jitsu for about 4 years, getting better and doing more competition, getting medal after medal, whether it be bronze, silver, or gold, I was always just happy competing. And my wall started filling up with the medals, and that was always really exciting. I started doing stand-up. And then I got to this point where I got to an even higher level in that and maybe could even go pro in kickboxing by itself. And so when I started training seriously, I moved to a gym that was a very competitive, professional gym. And I walked in, the first thing I saw was just world title belts, all lining up the walls, right? And that's the moment where I realized this could be this is what I'm going to do for my life. This is what I'm going to be known as, right?
Red corner, Abdullah Davis.
At the height of it, at the height of all of that is when my parents came to me and said, we're gonna be moving. We're moving from this gym, we're gonna go to a place that has no kickboxing whatsoever. No, we're going to Turkey. It was a move to better ourselves as a family, is what I was told. Is that we're gonna go to Turkey and we're going to better ourselves as a family. We're gonna study Islamic knowledge, we're gonna study Islamic sciences, and we're gonna try to just be better people and move away from the craziness that is American culture and what's happening there. The Islamic knowledge just wasn't as important to me as kickboxing was. When I found out that I might not be able to do what I thought my life was meant for, what I thought I was put here to do, it was definitely heartbreaking, 100%. There was a lot of moments over the year, right, where I started realizing, oh, Islamic studies is actually something I enjoy doing. I'm realizing my father used to always tell me that my personality type was always laser focused, right? If my mom tells me to go get something from the kitchen and I'm doing homework, I'm not gonna remember it. It's gonna take me 3 times to realize what it actually is. And it was a hindrance on everything I did, even kickboxing, until I realized that studying Islam actually requires that personality type. You have to be that laser focused for it. You can only focus on the book that you're studying, the sciences, and you have to cut out the rest of the world in order to be successful in it. And as soon as I realized that, I started getting better and better. I started excelling in Arabic. It took me about 3 months to be able to be fluent and be able to understand what I was actually, the language of Arabic, right? The key turning point was when I realized that not only could I be great in Islam, in being a student of knowledge, but I could be greater being a student of knowledge than I ever could being a kickboxer. I think I'm still at a point where I need martial arts, right? I don't think I'm ever going to be in a point in my life where I don't need martial arts, just from the amount of time I've spent in it and how much love I've already had put into it and how much love I have for it still. I'm always going to need martial arts to an extent, some type of training, right? But where I am now is the same love that I had for kickboxing, I'm finally starting to feel for something else, which I never thought was going to happen. I was looking through my old journal and I found a letter from my 11-year-old self. And it was writing, it was like, hey, future self, I don't know when you're gonna read this, but I'm just letting you know where I am now. I'm studying jiu-jitsu. I'm getting really good at it. I'm doing Muay Thai and Judo. I'm just letting you know when I'm 20, I'm gonna open up my own gym and I'm gonna be a champion by that time. Let me know how that's working out for you. And so I wrote back and I wrote, well, things have changed. So you're actually not going to be a champion in this, but don't worry, you're gonna be a champion in something else, inshallah.